Okay, so in this session we're going to continue the storefront, toying with the idea of modeling a hoodie and like building some more assets that we can use in our space. So we'll be looking at that at the moment, just loading it up. But yeah, so we have our basics. So there's two main things that I want to look at. So let's jump in. Alrighty, so we have our like basic we have our sort of t-shirts and we have our shoes. So there's two main things that I want to be focusing on at this point, and that's we need something in here, and I'm not too sure how I want to create sort of other spaces. I do want them to look like another store, but I also don't want them to cost much in regards to like how much information is there. So we need to figure that out. The other thing I want to look at is I want to make better versions of these, but I have to redo the shoulder because for some reason the shoulder didn't work as well as I would like. And that's a problem I'll do outside of stream. But eventually I would like these to be sort of posed in cool ways. And then I'll be modeling assets onto them, so t-shirts or hoodies or clothes around that. So I think for today, the main thing I want to be doing is creating some more assets that we can put around. So either some pants or a hoodie. So we have like basics, some basic asset types that we can use in our space. So the question is hoodies or pants, or both somehow. So we'll see. Not too sure just yet. I also think, because I was using the space last time, and I think the canvases are a little bit too thin, so I'm actually going to make them wider as well. So let's start there, shall we? So with this one, now that I sort of have an idea of what I want to do, yeah, 0.2, yeah, 0.2 is alright. I also need to figure out if I want to put them to the ceiling as well, which I kind of do. So I think what I might do is I'm going to get rid of these ones, because all of these assets are going to be exactly the same. So I'm going to get one and make this prefab. Which is my prefab, which is different from the prefab things we've done. So let's do store canvas. That works. And that way, every time that I use this canvas, it will update all the other ones. So let's, as an example, let's just duplicate this one. I kind of want to put it to this tile. Sort of there. There, and trying to get to the other side of that as well. This one could probably go up a little bit that way. Yeah, that's good. So I think things are better. So we could either have it really close to the wall or raised forward a bit, and yeah, I'm not too sure. I think I'll leave it like that for the moment. The other option, and I'm kind of tempted to do this, is like put it forward and put like a light behind it. Because that'd be kind of cool. But we'll maybe like leave it like this. Yeah. Okay. So that's better. Now, in that case, we could probably just grab those and then duplicate them. Move them over here. Yep. And because these ones are going to be flipped, it'd be better if I just grab them directly and then flip them this way. Now, again, we don't want this sort of fighting or Z fighting issue. We want them to be very clear. Alright. So that's looking a bit better. Yeah, I think I do want to at least try a light around it. And then I can add a bit more color, just a little bit, which would probably be good. So let's do a test with that. Where we go on? That one. So we need the scale of the space, which is not accurate in any way. So, okay, let's see if we can get the size. Ah, this one. Okay. Hmm. 0.4. So we're going to add this one, and if I go to the parent and then go apply all of them will adjust. So that's kind of what we want to do. What happens if we just make this 0.5 and 0.25? That's kind of too big though. What if we scale it down? Nope. 0.2 and 0.45 is what we want to do. So, I'm going to use that as a reference to make my object. So, we got, what is it? 0.2 by 0.45. Does that look right? Yeah, which one's which? Okay. 0.45. 0.2. Yeah. 0.01. Okay, that's what we're looking at. Does that look about right? Yeah, that looks about right. Can be able to work that. Okay, so what I want to do is make that really thin. Yeah, about that. I'll make a small. If you find that if you're changing the shape and the thing is incorrect, that didn't work. So just one, please. Thank you. So if you look at this is really thin and this is really high. The reason for that is we haven't applied the transform. So if you go to object mode, Control A, all transforms, I think it's just scale. So just to practice, I just want to make sure it's wrong. Yep, good. And if I go Control A, scale, I think is the main one. So if we do that, it will adjust correctly. So it's kind of the way you can get around that problem. Pretty subtle. Maybe even, yeah. And we just want two materials here. So let's just go plastic white for the most part. And another one we want is glow. And the glow is on this one. We're going to change it to metal. There we go. Okay, that didn't seem to work, so let's glow a sign. That works. Alright. Now, the thing is, when we put our canvas on the front of this, we might have some fighting, for example, which we don't want. So I'm actually going to delete this one. So we can sort of easily put the signpost on that object, which is kind of what we want. I could probably get rid of this one as well. Yeah, let's give it a shot. So when we see the side of the canvas, we're going to have that, but on the front we'll have the canvas, and on the back there's always probably going to be a wall. So I think that'll do. Once again, Control A, and all transforms. And I'll leave it there so we can apply that information. This is canvas frame. Selected objects, apply transform, export FBX. Okay. Now we have this down here somewhere. Yeah. Right here. Store frame? Nope. Canvas frame, that's the one. Okay. We have our materials, so I'm going to apply this now. Metal dark gray. And glow. So when we have glow, I actually want different colors. Can I have a black glow? Is that a thing we can do? You can definitely do red. Let's go with that for now. So I don't need to, because like the glow is kind of the main thing. What intensity is that? 1.5. So back to the canvas frame. and put that on there. Cool. Right, so we want this on every single asset. It's very small. Why is it very small? Because it's 20 centimeters. That might be why. Yeah, let's just make it bigger. Let's go 1.8. That'll do. Cool. Now, because I scaled it, that definitely needs the apply transform. FBX, canvas frame. Cool. Is it 4 meters? Is that? I think it might be, actually. Let's try it. Not too sure. Let's give it a shot. That one. The thing is, what do you call it? Thing to scale, apply scale, apply transform, that's the one. Apply transform is quite important because I think if you import it and it's really small, the light map won't make it the right size. You can improve the size or update the size in Unity if you wanted to, like you can scale it up or down and things like that, and I'll look at that in a sec. But pretty much with anything with game dev, basically you want to get it as right as possible from the start, so any changes down the process are less. So that's why I'm spending a little bit of time on getting this right from the beginning, because of that. So if we go in now, that's a bit more right. Now, let's look at, say this is really small, and we go to canvas frame here. You can scale the factor here. So let's say your asset is like, you make it and it's like 1 centimeter, and maybe you can't change it for some reason in the original, so you get it, and you just can't do that. So you could scale that up to 100, press apply, and that'll sort of fix that. And that will scale better in the light map, for example. So yeah, there are ways to fix it afterwards, but it's just not the best. Okay, so cool, and we want 90 on this one. I don't know why, but Unity does, like, it always moves it off exactly something. That's very frustrating. Okay, the other approach I could use here is holding V. So if you hold V, you can snap vertices, basically. And if it's accurate, which looks like, oddly enough, mine is, we can do that, and then it's a perfect lineup. And then we can move the whole thing forward. So that and that need to be forward, so we get more light there. Cool, cool. And once again, because this is a prefab, and I've edited it outside of the prefab tools, so I'll apply this and I'll show you the other ways you can do it as well. So I will bounce between doing it in isolation, in context, and by applying it afterwards. So in this case, we have made some modifications, apply all, and therefore we have all of our assets updated, which is great. The other approach is if I know I'm going to be making a change that I want to apply to everything, I can right mouse click, go prefab, and open asset in context or open asset in isolation. So context is in the space, isolation is on its own. So that's one approach. The other one is, oops, this little arrow here. So if I press it, it will go to opening the prefab in context, and if I hold Alt, it will go in isolation. So it's just this. So I can sort of see what I'm doing there. So every change I do here, when I go back, everything will be changed. So there's a few different approaches to updating prefabs, which is super useful. So keep that in mind. Now I just want to make sure that the ones at the back are at the right line, and it looks like they're a little bit back. So let's go, I think it's 5 to 9, 5 to 8. Move them forward. And we'll see the same over here as well. Yeah, those are incorrect. So move them forward. Back a little. Now the thing is with these ones, this is quite interesting because we have a light that we want to apply, but these lights, these assets are in the canvas, which we don't actually want. Because, well, yeah, this one's interesting. This is where you have to decide. So artifacts can be moved in the future. So if we do a light map, then what, and they move these assets or delete these assets, then the light map will still be there. Like, you'll still have that glow, which is probably what you don't want. So what I have done in the past, and maybe we could do this. Yeah, let's do it this way. It's a bit of a hack, but it does mean that it is still an artifact. And this would allow us some freedom to create sort of what we want to do. So there's 3 approaches. One is you create these as artifacts and assume that the owner does not want to delete them. Now the canvases, like that's the thing. So this is a frame. This is a thing. You could set it as light mapped, but if they update them, the light map will stay there. So the wall would still have a red glow. If you are making this space for you, and you want to mint it, that's fine, for example, because you have control, and that would mean that you just won't delete or move the canvases. The other approach, and we'll do it a bit of this just to show that you can do it that way, is to sort of create a fake glow around the asset. So how can I do this the best? Maybe extrude along normals. Yep, that works. Yeah. Okay. So I think just, I'm not too sure why that one doesn't scale correctly. I just want to make sure that there is one. Yep, there's one. So what I'm doing is, we just want these two. Yeah. So on this one, I'm going to create 3 materials, which I don't really like. But for this case, or this approach, we're going to do that. Now, the reason I would need 3 materials is because this one is going to have sort of a transparent fade out. Now, we haven't unwrapped this, so we should probably do that as well. So, let's do that. Actually, no, we could do this with one, with good texturing. So I'm going to do that to reduce the draw calls. So we need this as being very solid, and then we want this to sort of fade. Yeah, that should be big enough. I think that's good. Now the thing is, we want the floor as well, because the floor and the ceiling are there. So because they're there, we could either move this to the roof so it doesn't do it, or put it under. And just for argument, I'm going to put it under. So I've got some interesting ideas on this one. So in this case, what I'm going to do is extrude this way. Maybe to there. Yeah. All right. This will all make sense soon. Maybe. All right. So first up, we need to just unwrap everything. So we'll start there. Cool. And then we need to start doing some interesting things with our how do we want to do this? Yeah. Let's grab that one. That's at the top. And the bottom one, that's at the bottom. Grab it all. Actually, let's grab. So this is smaller, so I'm actually going to select these ones, but I actually want to select the other ones. So I'm going to grow that with Control Plus. Undo that one because I don't want that one. Yeah, so that's the frame, which I'm going to put over here. And then I'm going to use Control I to select everything else, which is actually what we want to work on. So let's split that. I can go there, split this, I can go there. What are these ones? Okay. Now the next thing I want to do is grab this edge. So go back to pressing 2 goes to edge. And then I want to connect those two with stitch. So that will join there. right mouse click, stitch, which is there, which is great. So these ones, so basically what I'm going to be doing is having a gradient light. So it isn't as custom, and then I can possibly use it for other things that I want to do. So basically these are the LED itself. So I'm going to put them at the top. There. And then we're going to be looking at the gradient for the rest. So maybe a little bit of a gap. Press 3, go back to full options. Yeah. Now we want it to be the right way, so we want it to go from like light that way. So we need to make sure that these are all going the right way as well. Like so. And then we can scale these. So S, Y. So on UV maps, you're looking at X and Y as scales, not Z, X, Y. So we've got that. Now we do want to make sure this line, for example, so pressing 1 to go back to vertices. So we got align Y, so those are all lined up. Align Y. And we kind of want all of these maybe to be the same, so we'll look at that. Align Y. And just to make this as clean as possible, I'm going to use align X. So these line up really neat. Actually, all of these. So align X and align X, and then put them at the edges. So scale X. It doesn't really matter because we're going to tile, so we're going to do a gradient from the start to the, like from the left to the right. But that works for me. Those looked aligned as well. Let's just keep that aligned there. So we'll see how that goes. So when we go back to our asset here, the glow is going to sort of be solid here and then fade out here. And for that we need Photoshop. Now this would be pretty small, so I'm going to keep this about 256 maybe, because I don't think this will be used much, but maybe in the future I'm going to create a larger LED. So I'm going to stick with 512 and then scale it down once I actually know the result. So in this case we need alpha. For the purposes of this, I can actually change the color in Unity. So in this case, we just need the gradient. So I believe this is sort of like the solid bit. So I'm going to start from here and then just go like that. And then it goes the wrong way. So I'm going to go the other way. Maybe to there. Yeah, we'll give that a look. I do feel that the transition isn't as good as I would like it to be, but we'll give that a shot. So export PNG, go to our build. Nope, that one. Textures. Huh? No. And call this, what do we call this? Gradient alpha. Let's go diffuse. So we can create a new glow red. Glow gradient red. And then we have our texture, which is that one. And then we need to make this fade, I think. Yeah, so we have that effect. We also need to make sure this is exported. Now that we have the new UVs. Can never find it. Okay. And there we have it. A bit of a glow. So as you can see, there's a bit of an issue there, so we have to figure out that. But this glows quite nice, actually. I like that. We have to make sure all of them are aligned correctly. So let's do that first. Okay, so we have a glow. Now note that, yeah, it is down the bottom as well. So this is the main issue. So we need to sort that out somehow. Well, it's a bit of an interesting one. I'm not sure why it does that, so let's have a look. Now, if I want to select all of the objects with the glow, I can just go select on that and go select, and then that'll be that. Ah, okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So this bit goes to, so let's control L to select all of that object. Now, the reason it's doing that is because I've put the halfway point there when it should actually be all the way down to there. So now that we've done that, we can move back up. So I'd probably like to maybe stretch that out a bit. And then move that up. And then that down. We'll give that a shot. Maybe that's it. Trial and error. Okay, there we go. So that looks a bit better. You do have that edge point, so you're going to have to make sure that that doesn't do that. It's very subtle. You probably can't even see it on the stream, and I can't see it when I get closer, but the further you move away, then it starts turning up. So that's an interesting issue. That is an interesting problem. Because I kind of want that to go further down. I'm wondering... The other approach is I just not worry about the bleed onto the floor, because you can't really see it. Yeah, I think that might be better. So I'm going to do this for now. And maybe you can update it later. So make sure it's at the diagonals, like so. Yeah, see, that looks a lot better. So I'd like some bleed. Yeah, I think the bleed would look a lot better. So I feel like I have to do that. So that needs to be the same, and then there just needs to be more of it. So how can I do that, I wonder? With using the gradient, and that's the other thing. So I feel like we've got one approach. I got one idea. I don't know if it's going to work. So I'm actually going to cut across here. Yeah. Is it under? Is that what's going on? Yep. Yeah, that's the effect we want. Just a little bit too low. So yeah, that's what we want to do though. So let's grab that, move that up slightly. Just want to get the right amount before I do it on the top. So close. Okay, I'm gonna do it slightly different. I'm gonna cut it up higher. So okay, let's do it maybe there. Too high? The thing is also, apart from the edge there, you probably wouldn't see it. So I can definitely improve it, but like if you're running around, you probably wouldn't even notice that much. But that said, I am going to improve it. Move it down slightly to there. Perfect. That's what we want. Now, the other thing I want to check, though, is, yeah, I want to move that a little higher because you have a loop. So if this is really close to that, then it will actually loop, and you can see a little bit. So I'm going to make sure that it's in that area so it doesn't do that. Now, we need to do the same up here. So let's say grab it from maybe there. Yep. Yep, sweet. So you can sort of see that there's a line there. When you get closer, it actually gets harder to see. So I might move that even further away from that line. I don't know if I'll be able to get rid of that. I think I had issues with that with the first space that I made. So I'm not too sure. What I could do... no. Because I do want it to loop. Maybe it's less important. Let's go... gradient out for that one. Texture type, where is it? Wrap mode. Clamp. Apply. And that means at the end, it will just stop. Now, the thing is, what that means, if I go here and do this, I can't go outside this texture, but because it's kind of like trim sheets and it's solids, I can put everything in here pretty easily. So that shouldn't be a problem, and it gets rid of that small issue at the edge there. So yeah, so this is what I would do for if I really wanted a light effect, but I wanted to do it so if I delete it, it doesn't show up. Now, if I wanted to, I could actually change that color. And this is the other thing as well. So with light maps, you can't change it over time. But if I do this technique, I can actually animate this if I wanted to. Where is it? There. So I could make it blue. I could make it pink. I could make it green. I could make it white. So I have that ability. Why is that green? What's going on there? To do that. Now, I can notice that there's a bit of a cut there. So I'd probably want to... I can't smooth it because I'm using a one gradient sort of approach. Now, if you wanted to, you could do like a one-to-one texture to get that sort of smooth effect. The other approach, and this is what I might do, so this is getting all kinds of messy, but I could bevel that, or these lines a bit. The issue is that it will also bevel that, so I could get rid of those two. So let's try this and see what happens. Bevel that. Now the problem is that the mapping gets a little bit messier if I do this, but we'll give it a shot. Yeah, so that. So the other approach is I do kind of all the things I did with the bevel in mind, and that would sort of fix that up. So maybe I'll look at that later. So the thing I want to fix, though, is I want to fix this. And I'm not really sure. Let's try something else. Yeah, so we actually don't want transparent. Hey! Tricky name. May 7-Re. How's that? How's it going? Or that also works. Maytare. Maytari. Maytare. How's it going? Yeah, cutout. Cutout is just a threshold, so it will just, like, the transparency will kick in at a certain threshold. For example, this. So I can actually adjust. So you can do some interesting animation effects with that. I don't want that, of course, but that's just why that does it. I don't want that at the end. Oh, nice. 3DS, that's old school. I haven't even heard that for a while. Try that. What's the goal? You want to try like latest stuff, or are you trying to... Right. That said, the 3DS had a lot of good games. Did I have one? Yeah, I think I... No, was it the 3DS? What was the... so long ago. What was the one with the 2 screens? I don't think it was 3D. No, it was. I think it was 3D. I never used it, though. No one ever used it. Yeah, 3DS. So I had a 3DS for a little while. I did have... What was it? You could do some ROMs, but I mostly listen to music. Because you can play music on it as well. So that was my iPod back in the day. And maybe that's a little too bright. Can I... the thing is, we actually want this on unlit as well. Yeah, that might help. Unlit, texture. Nope. We gotta miss if that's fine. Right. Okay, cool. Alright. So far, we've done fake line map that we can turn off and change color as much as we want, which is cool. The next thing, what I'll probably spend for the next bit is, making some clothes, and not sure which one I should do. So hoodie or pants or shorts. That's the other word that people use. But let's check this out. I think this will be interesting to see. So save and playground. Okay. All canvases need unique names, so I'm going to make this a little bit more useful in that this is the left canvas 1. Actually, let's canvas 1. And then we can 2. Kid Icarus. I remember the first one. I played the original on the Nintendo. That was one of my favorite games, actually. I forgot about that one. Oh man, I completely forgot about the game. I gotta pull it up. That's cool. Kid Icarus. Video, please. No, not the new one. The original one. There we go. Ow. How do we listen to any of this? This is screechy. Is this the whole game? Not in 10 minutes. I hope not. That was cool. It was hard, if I recall. Very, very hard. Yeah. Many late nights were had. Oops, that's not... Yeah, no, that is. These ones are the ones we want to change. So that is back wall 1. And then we have the ones over here, which is the right wall. I'm assuming Uprising is 3D? I don't think I played that one. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. QI, no problems. Cool. Alright. Save that. Oh, really? Okay. Let's check it out. I'm gonna check it out. Ah. Ice cream? What? Okay.
bit of an upgrade since the NES, I'll say that much. That looks pretty cool. Alright. So we have our Mona playground and our playground files. Drag that in. And here we go. A bit bright. So I'm going to need the more subtle, I think. Ah, canvas, okay. Yeah, it doesn't look as good in here for some reason. Wonder why. So the glow lines up well enough. It's just the glow doesn't look very good. So I'm gonna have to look into that. Now, what can we do with that space, I wonder? I guess the other spaces would probably need to be done as well. Although, what I could do is create like one prefab. That's just one object with one texture because it's all white. And then just copy that or flip that. So that shouldn't be too hard. So I'll have to figure out that at some point. Okay, cool. Cool. I believe in you. Modifying games is pretty fun. I used to mod I think I'd modded Duke Nukem, the original, with a Wile E. Coyote sprite animated character in there. So that was kind of fun. I modded Unreal Tournament 2007, was it? With some Warhammer 40k stuff. And you know, Unreal Tournament 3 with StarCraft 2 Marine. So, yeah. Modding's cool. Sure, why not? I think you can do links, I'm not too sure. I appreciate the inquiry, though. One link is allowed. There you go. Too many? Let's have a look. Ah, you edited the... Ah, okay, cool. Right. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Seeing your stuff in a big game is just... It's just an interesting feeling, I think. Yeah, not too sure why... It doesn't like that. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I might have to go back to a previous space and find out why it's going a bit full on. So that might be a project for an off-stream thing. But yeah, okay. Alright. I might wrap it up there for today. I got a few things to do today, so I'm going to do a sort of a semi-short one today. So yeah, we've added fake, very fake, fake and slightly fakey lighting effects. But the benefits of this is it can change color, be animated if you want to do reactor and stuff. So there's a lot of different things you could do with this technique. If I figure out how to get around the issue between here and Mona, I'll put it in the general, or do it in the next stream, for example. So we've got that. Yeah, I'll do that. So yeah, I'll be wrapping up there. Thanks all for joining. Good luck on your modding. Wish you the best with that. I think it'll be pretty cool if you can get that far. Yeah, changing 2 characters, that'll be really interesting. Can you make your own characters as well? That'd be kind of cool. Put a Space Marine in the game. But yeah, but yes, good luck with Kid Icarus. And yeah, I'll wrap it there for the day, I think. Thanks for watching all, and have a good day.